We tell stories of human. Way, not with artificial voices or AI slop. In the end, what's HFI without? Humanity? Subscribe to keep it this way. My name is Amir Sohal. Let's begin. The room was small, quiet, and almost too normal. A single table stood near the window. On it sat a simple cup of tea. Steam slowly rose from the surface, moving gently in the still air. The man sat in a wooden chair, relaxed, calm, and completely at peace. He looked ordinary. No armor, no weapons, no guards. Just a man drinking tea. Outside, the sky was dark. Heavy clouds moved slowly, but there was no wind, no sound. It felt wrong, like the world itself was holding its breath. The man lifted his cup and took a slow sip. His hand did not shake. Far above the planet, hidden in deep space, something else was watching. 6 shadows floated silently inside a dark ship. The ship had no lights, no markings, and no sound. It was invisible to every known scanner in the galaxy. Inside, 6 figures stood still. They were not human. They were the Skarax elite assassins. Each one was known across the galaxy. Entire armies had fallen because of them. Leaders, warlords, kings, none had escaped them. They never failed. Not once. And today, they had one simple mission. Kill the human. A cold voice echoed inside the ship. Target confirmed. One of the assassins stepped forward. Tall, thin, with glowing red eyes. He is alone? It asked. Yes. No guards. None. The assassin paused. Something felt strange. This is too easy. Another assassin spoke, its voice sharp and metallic. Easy or not, we finished the mission. There was a short silence. Then the leader of the group spoke. We move now. The ship vanished. Back on the planet. The man placed his cup back on the table. He looked at the window. For a brief moment, his eyes changed. Not fear, not worry, awareness. They are here, he said softly. But his voice carried no panic, only calm. The door to the room was closed, locked. But suddenly, the lock clicked open by itself. Slowly, quietly, the door moved. One of the assassins entered. It made no sound. Its body seemed to shift like smoke, bending the light around it. It scanned the room. The human sat there, still drinking tea. No reaction, no fear. The assassin tilted its head slightly. Strange, it whispered. From outside, 5 more shadows slipped into the building. They surrounded the room. Perfect formation. No escape. Inside, the first assassin took another step forward. You are the target, it said. The human did not answer. He simply took another sip. The assassin's eyes narrowed. Do you understand? It asked. Still no answer. Just silence and the soft sound of the cup touching the table. Far outside, one of the assassins spoke through a private channel. Something is wrong. Explain, the leader replied. He is not reacting. Maybe he does not understand the situation. No, that is not it. Inside the room, the human finally spoke. His voice was calm, almost gentle. You came a long way. The assassin froze. You knew we were coming? The human gave a small nod. Yes. Silence filled the room. For the first time, the assassin felt something unfamiliar. Uncertainty. Outside, the other assassins prepared their weapons. Invisible blades, energy pulses, tools that could destroy entire cities in seconds. But inside, nothing was happening. The human picked up the teapot and slowly poured more tea into his cup. The sound of liquid was clear in the silent room. The assassin watched him carefully. Why are you not afraid? It asked. The human looked up. His eyes were steady, deep, calm. Should I be? He replied. That answer did not feel normal. Outside, one assassin suddenly stopped moving. Wait, it said. What is it? The leader asked. I just lost signal from Unit 3. What? A short pause. No, it is back, the assassin said, but its voice had changed. It sounded unsure. Inside the room, the first assassin slowly raised his weapon. A thin blade of pure energy formed in its hand. One last chance, it said. Stand up. The human did not move. He lifted the cup again, took another sip. The assassin attacked. Fast, silent, perfect, but it missed. The blade passed through empty air. The chair was still there. The table was still there. But the human was not. The assassin froze. What? Before it could finish, a voice came from behind. You are too slow. The assassin turned instantly. The human was standing near the wall, still holding his cup, still calm. No rush. No effort. Impossible. Outside, the leader spoke quickly. All units moving now. The door burst open. 3 assassins rushed inside at the same time. They moved like shadows, faster than light, surrounding the human from every side. Perfect kill formation. No one had ever survived this. The human looked at them. Then he sighed. A small, quiet sigh. You should not have come here, he said. They attacked together. Blades, energy, precision, and then darkness. For a brief second, everything went silent. No sound, no movement. Outside, the remaining assassins waited. What is happening? One asked. No response. Report. Still nothing. Inside the room, something had changed. The air felt heavy, cold, like the space itself was bending. Then suddenly, one of the assassins flew out of the room, crashing into the wall outside. Hard. It did not move. Another stumbled out, its body damaged, its systems failing. This is not possible, it whispered. The leader stepped forward. What did you see? It demanded. The injured assassin looked up. Its glowing eyes flickered. Not human. And then it shut down. Silence. The leader turned slowly toward the room. Inside, the human had returned to his chair. He sat down calmly, picked up his tea, and took another sip. Nothing around him was broken. No damage. No signs of a fight. It was as if nothing had happened. The remaining assassins felt something they had never felt before. Fear. Real fear. The leader clenched its weapon. This mission is not normal, it said. No, another replied quietly. It is not. Inside the room, the human spoke again. His voice was soft, but clear enough to reach them. You still have time, he said. Leave. The assassins did not move. They could not, because for the first time in their existence, they were unsure. The leader took a step forward. We do not retreat, it said. The human gave a small nod. I know. He placed the cup down slowly. The sound echoed in the silence. Then come, he said. Outside, the sky grew darker. The storm above finally began to move, but no thunder came. No rain, only silence. Heavy, deep silence, like the universe itself was watching. Inside the room, the final phase had begun, and far away, across the galaxy, a signal was sent. A desperate call. Mission compromised. But no one yet understood the truth. This was not a mission. This was a mistake. It grew heavier. The room felt smaller now, like the walls were slowly closing in. The air itself seemed alive, watching, waiting. The human sat calmly, his fingers resting near the warm cup of tea. Steam still rose gently, as if nothing had changed. But everything had changed. Outside the room, 4 assassins remained. One was already destroyed. One was barely functioning. 3 had just disappeared inside. No sound had come from them. No signal. No trace. That had never happened before. The leader stood still in the hallway, its glowing eyes locked on the open door. We go together, it said. No one argued this time. They stepped forward slowly, carefully. For the first time, the Skarax elite moved with caution. Inside the room, the human tilted his head slightly, as if listening to something far away. They are thinking now, he said quietly. The remaining assassins entered together, for shadows crossed the door. The moment they stepped inside, the door behind them closed on its own. Soft, final. One of the assassins turned quickly and tried to open it. It did not move. No exit, it said. The leader raised its hand. Focus. They turned back toward the human. He was still sitting, still calm, still holding his tea. The leader stepped forward. We underestimated you, it said. The human gave a small smile. Yes. That answer felt wrong. Too simple. Too sure. One assassin activated its scanning system. Energy waves moved through the room, scanning everything. Walls, floor, air, the human. Then the system froze. Error, it said. Explain, the leader demanded. I cannot read him. That is not possible. I know. A second assassin tried its own scan. Same result. Nothing. No energy signature. No life reading. It was like the human was not there, but he was right in front of them, watching them. Calm. The leader slowly raised its weapon. Enough. We end this now. All four assassins moved at once, faster than before, stronger, more careful. They did not rush. They calculated every step, every angle, perfect coordination. The human did not move. Not yet. One assassin attacked from the left, another from above, two more from behind. A perfect trap, a perfect kill. And then the lights went out. Complete darkness. Even their advanced vision systems failed. What is happening? One asked. No answer. Then a sound, a single step, soft, slow, echoing in the darkness. The assassins froze. They could not see. They could not scan. For the first time, they were blind. Another step, closer. Stay together, the leader said. But the formation was already broken. Something had moved between them. Something fast. Too fast. One assassin suddenly stopped moving. Its body froze. Then, slowly it fell to the ground. No attack. No visible damage. It just stopped. Unit down. One whispered. Panic started to rise. The leader tried to activate emergency light. Nothing worked. This environment is controlled, it said. By him. Another step. Closer now. The sound was right behind them. One assassin turned and attacked blindly. Its blade cut through the air and hit something. For a moment, there was hope. Then the blade shattered. Like glass. The assassin froze. That is not possible. A calm voice answered from the darkness. You relied too much on your tools. The human, he was moving around them, slowly, easily, like they were standing still. Another assassin fired an energy pulse. The blast filled the room with light for a split second. In that moment, they saw him, standing in the center, looking at them, calm, untouched, and then the light disappeared again. Darkness returned, heavy, endless. No more games, the leader said. It activated its final weapon, a forbidden device. Even the Skarax rarely used it. The weapon began to charge. Energy gathered in its hand, bending space around it. If this fails, nothing survives, it said. The human's voice came again, soft, almost curious. Will you destroy this place just to win? We do not lose, the leader replied. There was a pause. Then the human spoke again. You already did. The weapon fired. A massive blast of energy exploded across the room. Walls cracked. The floor broke. The entire building shook. Outside, the sky above reacted. Clouds twisted violently. The ground trembled. For a moment, it looked like everything was over. The blast faded. Dust filled the air. Silence returned. Slowly, the assassins activated their vision again. The room was damaged, broken, destroyed, but he was still there, standing, in the same place, untouched, not a single mark on him. The assassin stepped back. Impossible. Completely impossible. The leader lowered its weapon slowly. Its voice changed. Not strong anymore. Not confident. What are you? The human looked at them. His eyes were no longer normal. They were deeper now. Endless. Like space itself. I told you, he said quietly. You should not have come. One assassin suddenly ran for the door. Fear had taken over. It tried to escape. The door opened. For a moment, hope returned. But the moment it stepped outside, it vanished. Gone. No sound. No trace. The others froze. No, one whispered. The human walked forward slowly, one step at a time. No hurry. No effort. Every step made the air heavier, harder to breathe. You travel across the galaxy, he said. You kill without fear. Another step, but you never asked one question. Another step. What if your target is not weak? The last two assassins raised their weapons again, but their hands were not steady anymore. They attacked. Desperate, fast, but not perfect anymore. The human moved once, just once, and both of them stopped, frozen, their bodies locked in place. Time itself felt broken around them. The leader was the only one left. It stood alone now, facing him. For the first time in its existence, it felt small. You are not human, it said. The human stopped in front of it, very close now, close enough to end it, but he did not. Instead, he looked directly into its eyes. I am, he said. The leader shook its head. No, humans are weak. The human gave a small smile. That is what you were told. Silence. Deep, heavy silence. The leader slowly lowered its weapon, not by choice, but because it understood it could not win. This will not end here, it said. The human nodded. I know. He turned away, walked back to his table, picked up his tea, and sat down again, like nothing had happened. Behind him, the last assassin stood frozen, unable to move, unable to think. Outside, far in space, another signal was sent, stronger this time. Urgent, desperate, send reinforcements. Unknown threat level, target unstoppable. But deep inside the signal, there was something else, something hidden, something the Skarax command had never seen before. Fear. Back in the room, the human took another sip of his tea, calm, silent, untouched, and for the first time, the hunters understood the truth. They were never the hunters. They were the ones being watched. From the very beginning, the room was quiet again, too quiet. The broken walls, the cracked floor, the air filled with dust, none of it mattered anymore. The human sat in his chair, calm as always, holding his tea. Across from him, the last Skarax assassin stood frozen. Not dead, not alive in the normal way either. It could still think, it could still see, but it could not move. Time around it felt wrong, slow, heavy, like something was holding it in place. The human took another sip. Warm steam touched his face. Normal, peaceful, completely opposite of everything else. Far away, in deep space, inside the Skarax command ship, chaos had begun. Report again, a commander shouted. Screens flickered. Signals came and went. Nothing was stable. We lost 5 units. Another voice said, only one signal remains, but it is not clear. Not clear? Explain. It is frozen. The commander paused. Frozen? Yes. No movement. No energy change. No time shift. That makes no sense. I know. Another officer stepped forward. We should send more units. The commander turned sharply. No. Silence filled the command room. No one goes near that planet again until we understand what we are facing. Back on the planet, the assassin's mind raced. It tried to understand, tried to process, but every answer led to the same result. Impossible. The human placed his cup down slowly. You are still thinking, he said. The assassin tried to respond. Its voice came out broken. What are you? The human did not answer immediately. Instead, he looked at the window, at the dark sky. You crossed the galaxy to kill one man, he said. You did not ask why. The assassin's vision flickered. Images began to appear. Not real, not memories. Something else. The human's voice continued. You think humans are weak, he said. Short life, simple bodies, easy to break. A pause. That is what everyone believed. The assassin saw flashes. Old battles. Human ships destroyed. Human colonies burned. Humans running, falling, losing. Yes, the assassin whispered weakly. You lost many wars. The human nodded. Yes. Another sip of tea. But you did not see everything. The room changed. Not physically, but something shifted. The assassin felt it. Like layers of reality were moving, peeling back. You only saw what we allowed you to see. the human said. The assassin's vision changed again. Now it saw something different. Hidden places, secret labs, deep underground, humans working, learning, watching, waiting. What is this? The assassin asked. The human stood up slowly. For the first time, he looked serious. This is the truth, he said. The images move faster. Human scientists studying alien tech. Human minds growing stronger, faster, different. Then, something else. Not technology, not machines. People, humans changing. Their bodies were the same, but something inside them was not. Something deeper. You thought evolution was slow, the human said. You were wrong. The assassin tried to resist, tried to reject what it was seeing, but it could not. You see, the human continued, humans do not just survive. Another step closer. We adapt. The word echoed. Adapt. The images shifted again. Humans in extreme environments. Deep space. High gravity. Zero oxygen. Still alive. Still changing. Still improving. The assassin system began to fail. Too much information. Too many contradictions. This cannot be real. The human stopped in front of it. It is real, he said softly. And you are seeing only a small part. The room grew darker again. But this darkness was different. It was not absence of light. It was something deeper. Something alive. The assassin felt fear rise again. Stronger than before. You are not just one man, it said. The human smiled slightly. No. Then what are you? The human looked directly at it. I am one of many. Silence. Heavy, crushing silence. The assassin's mind broke for a moment. Many? There were more? How many? It whispered. The human did not answer. Instead, he walked past it, back to the table, picked up his cup, sat down again. Calm, normal, like everything he just showed meant nothing. Outside, the sky began to move again. The storm was growing, but still no sound, no thunder, just pressure, building. Inside the room, the assassin felt something new, not just fear, understanding, slow, painful, clear. This is why you did not run, it said. The human nodded. Yes, you were never in danger. Another sip of tea. No. The assassin systems tried to restart movement. Failed. Tried again. Failed. It was completely under his control. But why show me this? It asked. The human looked at it again. For a message. The assassin went still. A message? Yes. The human placed the cup down. Slowly. Carefully. I could destroy you all, he said. Your ships. Your empire. No anger. No pride. Just a simple fact. But I will not. The assassin stared at him. Why? The human leaned back slightly. Because fear spreads faster than destruction. Silence. Deep, cold silence. The assassin understood. He was not just being spared. He was being used. You will let me go, it said. The human nodded. Yes. So I can warn them. Yes. The assassin's mind processed this. A single survivor, returning, telling the story, spreading fear across the entire Skarax Empire. A perfect psychological strike. You planned this, it said. The human gave a small smile. From the beginning, the assassin remembered everything. The calm, the tea, the waiting. It was never random, never luck. It was all controlled. You wanted us to come, it said. Yes. Another long silence. The assassin felt something strange. Respect. For the first time, it respected its target. Outside, far in space, the Skarax command ship received another signal. Weak, but clear. Last unit still active. Can we recover it? One officer asked. The commander shook his head slowly. No. Then what do we do? The commander looked at the dark screen. We wait. Back in the room. The human stood up again. He walked toward the frozen assassin. Very close now. You will go back, he said. You will tell them what you saw. The assassin systems unlocked slightly. Just enough. It could feel movement returning. Slowly. Carefully. But they will not believe me, it said. The human's eyes changed again. Deep, endless. They will... A pause. Because they will feel it too. The assassin did not understand. What do you mean? The human looked toward the sky. They are already watching. At that moment, far across the galaxy, something shifted, not in one place. Everywhere, a signal, a presence, a feeling. Something ancient had awakened, something human. Back in the room, the assassin finally moved one step, free, but weak. It looked at the human one last time. You are not what we thought, it said. The human nodded. No. The assassin turned toward the door. It opened easily now. No resistance. No trap. It stopped for a moment. What are humans? Asked quietly. The human picked up his tea again, took a slow sip, then answered, We are what comes next. The assassin left, gone, into the dark, carrying the truth, carrying the fear, carrying the message. Inside the room, the human sat alone again, calm, silent, untouched. Outside, the storm finally moved, not with sound, but with power, and across the galaxy, the first whispers began, about Earth, about humans, about something far more dangerous than war, something patient, something calm, something unstoppable. And this time, no one would ignore IT. IT moved through the dark sky, leaving the planet behind, fast, faster than before. Not because it was ordered, but because it wanted to escape. Behind it, the planet grew smaller, quiet, still, like nothing had happened. But the assassin knew the truth. Everything had changed. Inside its system, alarms were still active, warning signals, error messages, unknown readings. But none of that mattered now. Only one thing mattered. The message. Far across space, the Skarax command ship waited. Silent, tense. Every system focused on one signal. The last assassin. Signal is getting stronger, an officer said. The commander stepped forward. Prepare recovery. Understood. The ship adjusted its position. A docking path opened. For the first time since the mission began, there was hope. Moments later, the assassin arrived. It entered the ship quickly. The doors closed behind it. Heavy, secure, safe, or at least it should have been. Inside the docking chamber, soldiers surrounded it, weapons ready, not to attack, but to protect. Unit confirmed. One said, Bring it to command. The assassin did not resist. It walked forward slowly. Its movements were not perfect anymore. Something inside it had changed. The way it moved, the way it looked, the way it thought. It was no longer the same. Inside the command room, silence filled the air. The doors opened. The assassin stepped in. All eyes turned toward it. The commander walked closer. You survived, he said. The assassin stopped. Yes. What happened? A pause. A long pause. The assassin searched for words. But simple words were not enough. You sent us to kill a human, it said. Yes. The assassin shook its head slowly. That was your first mistake. The room went still. The commander's expression hardened. Explain. The assassin looked around. At the officers. At the screens. At the systems that once felt powerful. Now they all felt small. You think humans are weak, it said. They are not. Another officer stepped forward. We have defeated them before. The assassin turned toward him. No. Its voice was sharper now. Stronger. You defeated what they showed you. Silence. Confusion spread across the room. The commander narrowed his eyes. What are you saying? The assassin took one step closer. I am saying you never saw their true strength. The room lights flickered suddenly, just for a moment, then returned. Everyone noticed. What was that? One officer asked. No system error detected. Another replied. The assassin continued. He let me live, it said. The commander's eyes widened slightly. He let you live? Yes. Why? Another pause. The assassin answered slowly. For a message. The word echoed in the room. Message. The commander crossed his arms. Then give it. The assassin looked directly at him. He said, "Humans are not weak anymore." Silence. Deep silence. Some officers looked at each other. Some looked confused. Some looked worried. The commander did not react immediately. "And that is all?" he asked. The assassin shook its head. "No." The lights flickered again. Longer this time. Systems made strange sounds. Unfamiliar. Unstable. The officers turned toward the screens. "What is happening?" "Unknown interference." "Source. We cannot find it." The assassin spoke again. He also said, "Fear spreads faster than destruction." The commander looked back at it. "You are afraid." The assassin did not deny it. Yes. That answer changed everything. The Skarax elite did not feel fear. They did not admit fear. But now, one of their best had returned with it. The room felt colder, heavier. The commander stepped closer. "What did you see?" he asked quietly. The assassin systems activated. It began to share data, images, memories, fragments of what it experienced. The room screens lit up. They showed the human, sitting, calm, drinking tea. Then, darkness, movement, impossible speed, broken weapons, frozen time, and those eyes, deep, endless, watching, waiting. The officers stared in silence. No one spoke. No one moved. The commander watched everything, carefully, slowly. When it ended, the room went dark again. The system shut down for a moment. Total blackout. Then, power returned. Emergency lights turned on. Red. Warning lights. System failure across multiple sectors, an officer shouted. Shields are unstable. Navigation is offline. Panic spread. The commander remained still. "How?" he asked. No external attack detected. The assassin spoke softly. He said, "They're already watching." The commander turned sharply. "What does that mean?" The assassin did not answer, because at that moment, something else happened. Every screen in the room turned black. At the same time, perfect sync. Then, one image appeared. The human, sitting in his chair, holding his tea, looking directly at them. Impossible. This was not a recording. This was live. "How is this possible?" An officer whispered. "No signal detected," another said. The human spoke. His voice filled the room. "Calm. Clear. You received the message." No one moved. No one spoke. The commander stepped forward slowly. "You are far from your world," he said. "You should not be here." The human gave a small smile. "I am exactly where I need to be." The lights flickered again. Stronger now. The ship shook slightly. Not from outside. From inside. "What do you want?" the commander asked. The human looked at him. "I already told you." A pause. "Do not come back." Silence. Heavy silence. The commander stood tall. "We are the Skarax Empire," he said. "We do not fear threats." The human nodded slowly. "I know." Another sip of tea. "That is why I did not threaten you." The commander frowned. "Then what is this?" The human's eyes grew deeper, darker. "This is a warning." At that moment, every system on the ship shut down. Completely. No power. No light. No sound. Total darkness. Fear spread instantly. Real fear. The kind they had never felt before. Then, a single light returned. The main screen. The human was still there, unmoved, untouched, in control. "I let your assassin live," he said. "I let your ship remain." A pause. "But next time..." The room felt like it was collapsing. "I will not be so kind." Silence. Absolute silence. The human leaned back slightly. Calm again, like everything he just did meant nothing. "Stay in your space," he said, "and we will stay in ours." Another sip of tea. Then, the screen went black. Power returned instantly. All systems online. Everything normal. Like nothing had happened. But everyone in that room knew the truth. Nothing was normal anymore. The commander stood still. Thinking. Processing. Understanding. Slowly, he turned toward his officers. "No ships go near Earth," he said. "Not one." No one argued. No one questioned. Because they all felt it. That presence. That power. That calm, unstoppable force. Back on the planet, the human sat alone again. The storm above was gone. The sky was clear. Peaceful. He finished his tea, placed the empty cup down, closed his eyes for a moment, resting, waiting, because he knew this was not the end. It was just the beginning. Far across the galaxy, whispers spread. Stories, warnings, fear, about humans, about Earth, about something that does not shout, does not chase, does not panic, but waits, calm, silent, certain, and when the time comes, it does not miss. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and support us. It really helps us grow and bring more videos like this. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.